You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
JP the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, waking you up early in the morning here in Las Vegas and around the world. KSHP 107.1 FM AM 1400. It's Derby Day. That's right, we're riding in on those horses, and we're bringing my main man out from Arizona, Daniel Cameron, D Sports Ledger. Good morning. How you doing? Are you ready to rock and roll? Let's get some cash on the horses. Let's get it, man. What's going on?
I'm ready to rock, kid.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Got him on the line with me this morning. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, down in Bradenton, Florida, Tampa Bay area. Good morning, Scotty. It's Kentucky Derby Day. Got baseball on deck. Going to go over that NBA playoffs with you. But most importantly, we're going to be rocking hard here at KSHP today. Want to give a shout out to my main man, Ralph Sirocco, #1 horse betting show here in Las Vegas and around the nation. He had the picks on there earlier for you. But again, Scotty, good morning.
Hey, good morning, JB, man. It is Saturday. It's a nice day to be out running around today.
That's right. It's a nice day to be running out, and we're telling you where to get the grease. You guys are going to want to stay here locked, tuned in with me. Want to give a shout out to my main man, Frank Perez. Checked him out yesterday. Ran into JB the Ticket out there. The OG Cappers this Monday at Dom DeMarco's. May 6th, 12 p.m. Hot Dog Best event. All the old school Cappers from Las Vegas going to be in the building dropping grease. JB the Ticket is going to be there checking it out. Again, shout out to my main man, the Cubano Capper, Frank Perez. So you guys are going to want to lock and load with me here. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. We're getting up early, and we're telling you where that grease is. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
It's time to wake up and win the weekend.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Ticket. Giving you that grease.
Join me every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to jbtheticket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time to ride the winning wave with VSX. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull. Missed the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts and radio listening. Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Ticket. Vegas Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Nobody does it better, waking you up early in the morning. JB, the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express, live here, KSHP, AM 1400. Again, shout out to my main man, Frank Perez, the Cubano Capper. OG's in the building again this Monday at Dom DeMarco's, May the 6th, 12 p.m. The event is free. You guys are going to want to come check these guys out, the old school Cappers, the guys who laid the groundwork and put it down before JB. Again, respect to the OGs who laid the pathway for me to do what I do. I got him on the line. Scotty, beam him up, Webb down in Tampa Bay. My main man, Daniel Cameron, out in southern Arizona in Sedona. So again, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you again, Frank, for locking and loading with me. Shout out to my main man, Legal Lee. Yesterday had a little bit of a spill. OG's in the hospital again this morning. Shout him out. Get well soon. This show's dedicated to my main man, Pop DiBiase, up in heaven. Again, today is the Kentucky Derby Day. It was a big day for him. Want to give a shout out also to Darrell Harris. He told you guys to look at the Orlando Magic, and they were able to take down their series as well. And then shout out brother-in-law, Dr. Steve, man. He's got that doctorate. They put the shawl on him yesterday. University of Michigan alum. Told him a long time ago, man, if you want to be a doctor, get there. You'll do it. So, again, cash is in his pocket. Good morning, guys, out here in Las Vegas and around the world. All my sports bettors listening. Also, quick shout out to Caitlin Clark. She was cooking last night. Heck of a debut in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is going to put millions in the pockets. Also, you got the ladies out there in Chicago for the Chicago Sky. You got Angel Reese. Got everybody out there balling for them. But let's talk about a little bit of NBA, guys. Just do a quick recap. Yesterday, again, the Orlando Magic taking down the Cleveland Cavaliers 112-89. That series is all tied up. And, well, hold on. We got the wrong scores up there. Boo! They're like, JB, that ain't what it is. You got to pull up the right scores. That was the other day. But yes, they actually are. The series is tied 3-3. Game 6, the Magic beat them 106-96. And I want to throw this one down to you, Scotty. Florida is still in the NBA playoffs. The Orlando Magic. Do you think they can win it? Game 7. I mean, you look at where this team has been playing for the last couple of weeks, and again, no one is talking about them. They have been cashing tickets for you. Down 1-2, came back 1-2 straight. Do you think the Magic are for real in the East? Go ahead.
I think that this matchup that they can win Game 7. I don't think they're going to go anywhere past that. But I think that the reality is that Cleveland's another team that they're not going to go anywhere either. So there's nobody coming out of the East except Boston. So
right.
So once. But that's not necessarily what we're talking about. I mean, if you want to bet Orlando to win a Game 7, I don't have any issue with that.
Right.
I really think it's kind of a coin flip.
It is kind of a coin flip to me, but again, shout out to my main man, Darrell Harris. He told us about this pick a couple of weeks back on the show. Tried to get him on this line this morning, but again, CBS KLAS here in Las Vegas, CBS 8 now. Shout out to all the crew over there that support the show. But he told you that this was a dog that was barking. So throwing this one over to you, Daniel Cameron. I know we're going to get into some of the series information that we broke down with folks last week when we were on came to fruition. But the Orlando Magic in the East, is this a team that's a sleeper dog that may surprise some people with that young talent? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I give a very, very slight, very minuscule edge to Cleveland in this, but absolutely, Orlando can win. I mean, they play as a team. They're cohesive. They have great synergy. Absolutely, they can win.
Right,
and that's why I give Cleveland the smallest of edges. But, I wouldn't put no shame on betting Orlando if that's what you wanted to go with,
Right. Just talking about them here, the Orlando Magic. They got it together. Let's talk about another game. Yesterday, we talked about it. Shout out to my friends down in Texas, Flower Mound, the Dallas, Texas area. The Mavericks getting it done. I told you, if they needed to show that they are a contender in the West, they would have to pick it up. You talk about these guys, 4-2 over the Clippers. Unfortunately, LA is asleep again during basketball season, during the postseason here. So the Lakers and the Clippers are out. It's over. super teams not doing too much down in L.A. County, but you talk about these Mavericks here. Luka Doncic, he finally woke up. Can you believe it? Kyrie Irving getting back some of the young grease, some of the young legs here. 30.6 rebounds, 4 assists. James Harden, a pedestrian, 16.7 rebounds. He had 13 assists, but it just wasn't enough. Luka, a very controlled game, 28, 7, and 13 assists. You talk about this team here, the Dallas Mavericks, now with no one to go over to the Lakers and try to figure out a way to get LeBron another championship. The Lakers did get that early in-season championship, so all is not lost this year. But the Mavericks, a team that you got to look for in the West, they have won a championship before back in the days of Dirk Nowitzki, beating those Lakers to get that far. But this year they beat the Clippers. Going back to you, Daniel Cameron, to keep it out West, the Mavericks, this is a team that I've got circled. If they're in a dog position, you got to take them. They came out, they won this series, and I don't see anyone else in the West that can compete. Maybe the Timberwolves, but I think that Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, if they can continue to be that 1-2 punch, combining for over 58 points yesterday and a ton of assists, really getting these other guys involved, the Mavericks coming with that number 5 seed could be hoisting that O'Brien trophy. Go ahead.
Oh, man. My OKC, they're the most disrespected number 1 seed ever, man. I've been riding with OKC, and I'm going to ride with them again here.
Yep. I figured as much. You talk about those young guys, Chet Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You know about it. Being a homer here.
Boys, man.
They play some good basketball out in OKC. It reminds me of the times when they had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and I forget the other third guy, but the owner broke that team down.
James Harden was the third.
Yeah, James Harden. Well, we just talked about him with that pedestrian night. So, again, Scotty, you got a little bit of feedback in the background. Throwing this one over to you, Scotty. The Mavericks winning this one in rather simple fashion, 114-101. Do you think that they're a team that you can keep on your betting list in the West? And then when we get back, we're going to jump into some of this baseball, Major League Baseball, full slate today. Only one NBA game on the line. We'll tell you about it before we go to commercial break. But go ahead, Scotty. Are the Mavericks for real? Or these Denver Nuggets we're getting ready to jump into in the next minute, still the team to beat in the West? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Dallas is a good team. I don't think they're a playoff running team where they're going to go and make a big run and become NBA champions. They don't have enough. They need those guys to be superhuman to actually to win some of these games. So I think you're going to see, Denver's going to just be the cream of the crop out there.
There you go. He's telling you the Denver Nuggets are still the team to beat. Let's talk about it real quick before that commercial break. They've got a young man who is a Michael Jordan clone in today's era in front of them today. Rotation number 529, those Minnesota Timberwolves. They are trying to make some history here, taking out the former champions. +4.5. The money is on them on the spread. Rotation number 529, the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Mile High City today. Rotation number 530, -4.5. Denver is the team to beat. It's about an even split on the spread, but when you talk about that total, that gets a little confusing. Both of these teams can fill it up if it requires. 208.5. Daniel Cameron, throwing it at you. Do you like a side? Do you like the total, or do you like the spread? I'm taking that one over, buying it down to about 205. I think we should be able to get some cash today. Both of these teams are going to be shooting the ball to see who can get ahead and put the cash in your pocket. But, Daniel, what do you think? Denver or the Timberwolves? Go ahead.
Those Wolves are barking, man. Give me the underdog. Give me the Wolves.
That's what I'm telling you. You know where to get the cash at. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. What say ye? And then we'll take this commercial break and get into some of that baseball. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the first game in this series, you got to remember, Denver, they played a pretty big slugfest against the Lakers. And I think they're going to come out a little bit soft in the first game. But, after that, I think it'll be, all Denver.
Right. Well, we like the Timberwolves today. We're going with that dog. Buy them up to 6, 7, maybe even 8. Some value was there for you. We're going to take this short commercial break. Support our sponsors. Get over to my website, jbtheticket.com, vegasscoreboardexpress.com. Quick shout-outs for you guys before we take this break. Give you about 10 seconds apiece. Go ahead. Scotty, go ahead first.
Yeah, Just a quick shout out down here in Florida. You know, it's been good weather so far. Everything's been great, and just want to make sure that everybody stays healthy out there, and don't get too excited and get too hot.
There you go. Don't get too excited, get too hot. It's getting nice weather out here in Vegas as well. Daniel Cameron, quick shout out. We got to take this break. These guys are hitting the button on me. Go ahead.
Yeah. At D Sports Ledger on social media, Daniel Sports Ledger on YouTube.
There you go. Taking this break, guys. Let's get ready to get some baseball money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Tech Hat. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
Steiner's, the Nevada-style pub, invites you to play the best tavern, keno, and video poker in Vegas. Promos are how we roll, so make the most of your gaming dollars here with us. Come play our proud partner gaming promotion, Fly Aviators Fly, and receive daily free play, bonuses, and more. With a chance to win awesome branded prizes and big money for all the jackpots each week. It's not only great gaming that Steiner's Pub has, it's the 24 awesome rotating draft beers, and Vegas' best appetizers to match. So join us in supporting your Las Vegas Aviators, Golden Knights, Lights, Aces, and the Raiders as we make history in Vegas. Steiner's, the Nevada-style pub at 8410 West Cheyenne, 1750 North Buffalo, and Las Vegas Boulevard at Windmill. Steiner's, I love this place.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV. You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Tech Hat. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
JP the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back at you live here in Las Vegas and around the world. 107.1 FM, AM 1400, KSHP, VSX, Digital Sports Network. My main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLB-Daily.com on the line with me, joining all of us this morning with Daniel Cameron from D Sports Ledger out in Sedona, Arizona. You guys hear it. It's the group home family, VSX, here to put cash in your pocket. It's an exciting morning. Everyone is happy talking about it. We'll finish out the show with the Kentucky Derby because, to be honest with you, I don't know too much about the bologna meat. I leave all that stuff for Ralph Sirocco and the guys at Race Day. Again, check out their show right before mine each and every Saturday and Sunday. So getting into this Major League Baseball, Scotty, it has been a very interesting season. Some of the worst teams in baseball are improving. Some of the teams that we thought were better are getting worse. Like those Pittsburgh Pirates. That's not a dog that's barking. I thought that was going to be working out for us, but unfortunately, not doing so much. Took them off the betting list today. Philadelphia Phillies got them on the list. Shout out my main man, Naeem the Dream. Philadelphia living, Las Vegas residing. Talked to me about the Phillies this past summer, and I figured, you know what? Let me take a look at them in the betting list. So yesterday they beat the Giants. Rockies beating the Pirates. We just talked about that. The Brewers still holding strong, beating the Cubs yesterday. But one of the teams, again, hanging around 500. I think if they can improve and keep their pitching strong, the Washington Nationals, they're also another good team. The Mets lost again to the Tampa Bay Rays, but the Rays are looking a little bit better at 15-18. Yankees 21-13. So just going around some of these scores that we saw yesterday, you're looking at a lot of the young teams, the teams with young talent, Scotty, improving and making themselves in positions to win. I've seen a vast improvement in the infield defense across all of those teams I just named. And then you got teams that are kind of falling by the wayside, teams we thought would be good, teams like the St. Louis Cardinals. The White Sox, absolutely in the toilet right now at 6-26. So you talk about the A's moving to Vegas. Chicago, you guys already got cousins here. You might want to come out here, maybe trade a baseball team. I don't know. But, Scotty, what say ye? We'll talk about where the season is right now in the first kind of quarter of it, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that there's some pretty interesting things going on. I think that when you start to look at where teams are and kind of what's happening, I think the AL Central has been a whole division of teams that have kind of caught people by surprise. The Cleveland Guardians, they've won 20 games. The Royals have won 20 games. The Detroit Tigers are over 500 with 18 wins. Those are all younger teams. Those are all teams that, theoretically don't have major superstars. I mean, the Royals, you could call Bobby Witt Jr. a superstar, but, those are teams that are finding ways. Minnesota, they're on they've won 11 straight games now. So, that AL Central is going to probably be a pretty fun division all season. I think eventually Minnesota is going to pull away. They're just too good. Their offense is pretty good, and they got the better pitching. And then that NL Central is kind of weird too. Milwaukee, you would have thought it's a team that's going to go and you got rid of Corbin Burns, and their pitchers are hurt, and they don't have a big offense, but man, they've got 20 wins. But I don't know how sustainable they are there. I think the Cubs are the best team in that division. I think the Pirates are, a bunch of players away, and they thought they were kind of like the Royals, where they're going to start hitting, but they got to go. And I think when you look at the Cardinals, you brought up the Cardinals. I think they're an older team now that missed on some of their younger players that they thought were going to be good, and I think they're in trouble because their starting pitching's not any good. So I think the NL Central is going to come down to you're going to have the Brewers and the Cubs. I think the Reds can make some moves. They got some good pitching there, and if they can bring in some more offense, I think the Reds could make a run in that division. But I don't know how willing they are to do that stuff. I think a division that so far has been disappointing has been the National League West. The Dodgers are everything the Dodgers are supposed to be. But the Padres are 1 game under 500. The Giants are 3 games under 500. The Diamondbacks are 5 games under 500. Where's the competition for the Dodgers? So I think the Padres are probably the next best team out there. But, the Diamondbacks went to the World Series last year, and here they are struggling, and, they've got some hurt pitchers and some other stuff, so maybe they get those guys back and they're going to be good. But, I think one of the most, teams that have been the worst going into this are that you thought was going to be good, the Houston Astros. But I will tell you this. I think the Astros are going to be on a big run here soon. They're getting their pitchers getting healthy. The offense is starting to come around. And I don't think Seattle or Texas did anything to really get themselves far enough ahead. I think the Astros are going to get on a big run here, and I think the Astros will pass all of those teams.
He thinks the Astros are going to make a comeback. Going over to you, Daniel Cameron. Let's talk about the first game here on the line. Rotation number 951, those Milwaukee Brewers, plus 1.5 on the run line, plus 117 on the money line. 8.5 is the run total. Now, we know they've been struggling on offense, but that infield defense, getting guys out, making sure their pitchers get back on the mound and don't have to be out there for a long time. Chicago Cubs, we were just talking about it. This is a team that's kind of on the cusp. They can win you games, but can they be consistent? So, again, throwing that one over to you here. The Cubs are in the favored position. What say ye, Daniel Cameron? Do you like the minus 127, or do you want to go with those Milwaukee Brewers who find a way to win? Go ahead.
The Milwaukee's hitting better right now. The Cubs, the last 7 games, have only averaged 2.4 runs. They're only averaging 1 run in their own division, so per game. So they've been struggling in these division games. And then Milwaukee's been hot. Versus righties, they hit a lot better, 5.5 runs a game. So I like the Brewers in this game, but like you said, the Cubs are playing so well, you just don't know what's going to happen. But I would take the Brewers in this game.
He likes the Brewers, likes the dog position. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Going back over to you. Got a little bit of feedback, I think. Either you or Daniel. Sounds like the pup is licking the phone there. Pause. But what we were talking about here with these Cubs and Brewers, again, 1 and 2 in the National League Central, battling for first place. Do you think that could have any implications? The Brewers right now are in first place and can take a full game lead if they're able to win this one in the series. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, I think this is one of those spots where, you've got a couple of guys out here thrown today that you don't know a whole lot about. Myers is making his third start. He's a rookie. He didn't have a good start his last time out, but his first start was pretty good. And then Tyon made 3 good starts, and his last start was his best start. So I suspect that, he hasn't had any setbacks yet, Tyon. And I think that this is one of those spots where he could run into that. This is also a tough game because of the wind. The wind is blowing in 10, 15 miles an hour in Chicago today, so that takes away some of the power dynamic. It's hard to hit home runs in Wrigley Field in those conditions and environments, which means then you need to put the balls in play and get a lot of hits and get a couple walks. And I think that, again, that's going to be one of those spots where Tyon's not a big strikeout guy. So I like Milwaukee today. I think Milwaukee's in a good spot here to keep their run running a little bit. They get their manager back today. He was suspended for a couple of days because of the fight they got into with Tampa Bay. So they get him back today, and I think that this sets up pretty good for Milwaukee.
There you go, setting it up for Milwaukee. Let's talk about some interleague play here. Another team that is really deep down in the doo-doo cellar. Talking about those Miami Marlins. These guys are absolutely terrible this year. 9-25. Playing a team that was terrible last year. Rotation number 976, the Oakland Athletics. In about 4 or 5 years, they should be the Las Vegas Athletics. They're going to be the Sacramento Athletics. It's like baseball teams. Scotty, you would know about this in the minors. You guys just moved from hotel to hotel, but they are in Oakland today for this interleague play. Trevor Rogers on the mound for Miami. Miami just absolutely stinks, okay? 4-10 on the road. They're a terrible baseball team. It is what it is. The Oakland Athletics, though, however, climbing their way back to 500. Want to get some respectability before they make the move. They don't want to come out here looking super bad here, so you got to give respect where respect is due. But when Oakland wins baseball games, you don't know if it's going to be 0-0 all the way up to the 7th, 8th inning. Couple lucky plays here, error there, ball goes their way. But they are playing one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in baseball today. Only minus 130, some value there if you want to take the Oakland Athletics, even though they're a favorite. Always a dog in my book. Paul Blackburn's on the mound. Trevor Rogers, left-hander for Miami. I'll go over to you, Daniel Cameron. What do you say here, this interleague play? You know I like to get money. I like Oakland here. I just safely say take them money line. If they win 1-0, win by 1, lose by none, get the money. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is such a low did I click on the wrong one? Oh, no, this is such a low over-under.
Yeah, 7 points.
But,
yeah.
7, yeah, 7. It opened at 8. It's already gone down a whole point, which is that's a lot to go down already. So it's a 7 now. But neither of these teams are hitting. Miami's hitting a little bit better than Oakland, but if anything, I would go just take an under on this and, don't hit your wagon to either of these teams, right?
Right. He doesn't want to hit your wagon.
Just
go ahead.
For no points.
Right. I mean, like I said before, both of these teams, this is a bet, 2 turds in the bucket, see which one goes down first, see which one floats. Going back over to you, Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Let's get on another game here. Rotation number 955, the San Francisco Giants. We were just talking about them. 3 games under 500, 15-18, 6-11 on the road. That ain't going to get it done. Going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. This is a team that's hot right now. Ranger Suarez, the left-hander, is on the mound. Rotation number 956, minus 178. A little bit expensive today for Philadelphia on the money line. Another low total of 7.5. Philly's got the advantage on the win side, though. 22-11 overall, 11-6 at home. Run line 7-10 in their last 20. But you talk about this San Francisco Giants team, they can't hit the ball. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. let's get over to you at plus 150. Is there any grease to be had with the San Francisco Giants? At 15-18, they're not a bad team, but sometimes they just can't get around the diamond back to home plate to put money in your pocket. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a big believer in the idea that, Major League Baseball players aren't robots, meaning that, they have ups and downs. And so far, Ranger Suarez has just been all ups. He's been great every time out. He's been outstanding, probably the best pitcher in baseball. And he pitches again today. And now he's facing, Wynn for San Francisco, who's not been shabby either. He's been really good. So it comes down to kind of like, okay, well, these guys are kind of overdue to have a bad game here. And if you're going to have a bad game, you don't want to have a bad game against the Phillies offense because they've been hitting the ball pretty good. San Francisco's going to struggle with that all year. So I think that San Francisco is kind of one of those teams that, they're a 500 kind of team. And if they get hot and you can ride them when their bats are good, then that's when you want to bet on them. Otherwise, you either want to take them in certain spots or you want to back the other team. And in this spot, it's just too pricey to get involved with Philadelphia. And I think if you try to play them on the run line, it's possible that Suarez gives up some runs today because he hasn't given up any runs the whole season.
So let's talk about that total here. 7.5. We're not hitching to a side. Do we want to buy it back a full run and take the over, or buy it up a run to take the total to go under? I'll go over to you, Scotty. How do you like that play with San Francisco and Philly? Go ahead.
Well, this game has got a lot of rain in the game, so I'm not sure how it's actually going to go or where it's going to be, but they're going to probably have to play in light rain the entire game. So that there's all kinds of issues there. So if you get start and stops, meaning that if you're betting this game because of the two good pitchers that are pitching, the game starts and then it has a rain delay in the third inning, and then they take those guys out and got the bullpen that comes in, anything can happen. So I would tell you that if you really wanted to do this and you wanted to play it, you wanted to play the total, I would look at probably, I don't know, the first 5 innings kind of total and bank on the pitchers being able to go at least that long and hope they pitch to where that they have in the past and play it under.
Right, play it under, buy it up, and get the money. Let's talk about these Texas Rangers here. These guys are the World Series champions. Nobody's giving them any dew. Nobody's giving them any grease. One game over 500, 17-16 today, playing a team that has done a complete turnaround. Talk about those Kansas City Royals. Rotation number 967, Texas Rangers. Dane Dunning is on the mound, right-hander. 7-7 on the road for these guys. So, again, it's a flip-flop, but they're going against a much-improved Kansas City Royals team. Michael Wacha is on the mound, or Waka, if you will. Rotation number 968, 20-13, 13-5 at home. This is a tough team to beat at home. The total, however, is high. 9 started where it was earlier on in the week. Bought back to about 8.5. But you look at Michael Waka, he's not the greatest pitcher. He does give up a lot of runs, but where Kansas City wins, I talked about that infield defense. A lot of throwouts, okay? A lot of ground outs. That means that they're not letting the ball get through the gap here. And Dane Dunning, not a bad pitcher as well, just hasn't had that many starts. I'll go over to you, Scotty. Beam him up. Webb, you're the expert on this. Then we'll jump to commercial break. Give ourselves a little bit of time to get together here. But Texas or Kansas City? I like Kansas City today at home. Somewhat expensive if you want to take these guys. Again, you can go over to our friends at betus.com. Use offer code VSX125 to boost that up 125%. But Kansas City, I mean, this is a team that really plays good baseball. They went a complete 180 from last year. Very good value at minus 102 today. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't take the better record with the opportunity to get a good price. Go ahead, Scotty.
Well, these guys are playing about the same kind of baseball right now. I mean, Kansas City's offense is about the same as Texas is right now. Now, over the season it won't be, but right now it is. And Waka, he's not done so well. You know, he's about an average pitcher. Dunning's an average pitcher. Dunning pitched real good the last time out. I don't expect him to do that today. And Walker pitched really bad the last time out, so I expect a role reversal there. I think Kansas City's probably the right side today.
That's right, Kansas City rocking with them. Daniel Cameron, what say ye? Thank you for chomping at the bit here. Kansas City Royals, much improved, total 8.5. You've been picking totals today, not wanting to hit your wagon. Pause. Do you like the Texas Rangers World Series? Or do you like those home dogs? Kansas City Royals, better record. Easy grease, minus 102. Very good price. Go ahead.
I've won more money on Walker than anyone in baseball. So if you give me Walker, I'm taking Walker every day. Also, the Rangers bullpen on the road is 7.11, so it's awful. So give me the Royals.
That's right. Go with those Kansas City Royals. The dog is barking today here at Vegas Scoreboard Express. You guys keep it locked with me. We're going to take a short commercial break and get back to the grease and talk a little bit of Derby. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Tech Cat.
It's time to wake up and win the weekend.
You're listening to the boss of the big board, JB the Tech Cat, giving you that grease.
Join me every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to jbtheticket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time to ride the winning wave with VSX. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull.
Missed the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts and radio listening. In times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. We salute those who have given their lives for our country. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. This salute is courtesy of Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, serving our area with quality and pride. For a fantastic meal, stop by 1331 West Warm Springs Road in Henderson or call them at 725-214-4140. That's 725-214-4140. Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, on the air reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to our brave.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Got about 15 minutes left on the grease. Going to talk a little bit of Kentucky Derby. Got my main man Scotty, beam him up, Webb, MLB-daily.com on the line. Daniel Cameron, dsportsledger.store. And you can check him out on the YouTube at dsportsledger. So, guys, let's talk a little bit about this. Horses, man, you know, it is Kentucky Derby Day. Everybody's going to have the mint juleps, the hats going on, fronting like they got it like that. But we want to get a winner in the line today. A lot of cash to be had here in the horse betting down at South Point. Again, shout out Ralph Sirocco, KSHP emeritus host down at the South Point now, working on the VSAIN network. But again, still got love for him over here. But let's talk a little bit about it. Scotty, I'll throw it over to you. I know that you keep up with a little bit of this horse racing. What say ye, man? I mean, there's some great odds, 50-1. I'm seeing some cool names like Domestic Product, Grand Mo the First. One thing I like about horses, these guys have real ghetto names. It's like a bunch of thug aliases out here. You know what I'm saying? Track Phantom, T.O. Password, Just a Touch. Sounds like old R&B titles. But again, Scotty, beam up, Webb. Go ahead.
Well, I think that, I'm not the biggest horse race guy, but I will tell you, strategy-wise, I think that there's tight numbers in there, right? I don't think there's I think there's like 4 or 5 horses that are in the mix, so to speak, and then there's a bunch of long shots. So I think I think the best way to kind of bet these games bet the horses is to kind of look at what odds you're getting and then try to put together a trifecta or something like that where you got one or two of those major horses, and then you throw in a 20 to 1 or a 15 to 1 to kind of finish in the top three, and then you can get a pretty good payout of your ticket. So if you get your two horses plus the one, I mean it's pretty good that way. I would also caution. I saw some stuff yesterday, and I didn't look at it today, but there's a lot of weather, especially for these baseball games. So I'm assuming there's going to be weather concerns in the Kentucky Derby. So if it's a kind of a sloppy track, that sort of takes away any of the edge that the favorites have. So that brings in some of these horses that maybe are more long shots to get there.
Right. Talking about those dogs is barking and the horses that are neighing. Daniel Cameron, I like the name Track Phantom. It just sounds super duper cool. Shout out to my main man, Ronnie B here in Las Vegas. He likes the number 17 horse, Fierceness. Pause. But again, you got Society Man, Forever Young, got some foreign horses in there, West Saratoga. Domestic product, sounds like they're packing it up, stamping it, and shipping it out. Again, I like the names of the horses. Don't know too much about how a horse is an athlete. You talk about jockeys, though. I know you've got some idea about jockeys and how they ride. Pause. Talk to me about this, and tell me some of the long shots. I'm seeing a lot of 20 to 1s, 30 to 1s. If I throw $100 on one of these horses and hit 3 Gs, hey, it's just another day. If I don't, it's a write-off. Go ahead.
As far as let me tell you about some of the other ones first. Fierceness has if it's, good weather, I mean, I would take Fierceness. He's got the fastest horse in the field. But talking about jockeys, Sierra Leone, he's going up in the numbers right now. And they have the Sierra Leone's 4 to 1. I think it's gone up to 3 to 1 now. But he's the top closing jockey in the field. So he's, if it gets muddy or something like that, or there's some strategy to it, you might want that closer. So Sierra Leone might have the top jockey there in the field.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of these. The one thing I'm reading about a lot of these horses, the later ones, is a lot of them start out really fast and they seem to kind of die out. A lot of them.
Well, that's enough of that.
Grand Mo the first. He's 50 to 1. He's got,
there you go.
3rd place finishes, so maybe he closes it in this one.
There you go. Grand Mo the first, the only one that really sounds like a rapper. That's where I'm going to bet it. Enough of the horse betting. When we come back, best plays of the day. Sorry you guys had to suffer through that. We sounded like a bunch of old men blind leading the blind, but we got to show respect to the mint julep in the Sunday church hat. Give a couple more shout-outs. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Who do you want to show some love to? Go ahead.
Well, I think the best way to say it is to, again, I got to show my wife some love today. She's been doing a lot for me on the back end of things and covering me and helping me out, so I really appreciate it. Shout out to my wife.
There you go. Mrs. Beam him up, Webb. Thank you so much for keeping Scotty alive so he can stay on the air with us and keep giving out these dogs, these barks, these winners. Daniel Cameron, quick shout-out, then we get back. We're going to go back over the NBA today. Got a couple of text messages like, how you going to gloss over the NBA like that today, man? We got Anthony Edwards on the line. We got AE. I'm like, the dude dating shares in the NBA? Just joking. But again, go ahead. Daniel Cameron, we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, going on with kind of what he was saying there, I mean, I had a couple friends come by and hang out. I had a good time yesterday. So shout out to all the friends out there. Shout out to your friends, man.
There you go.
We all need them. And then shout out, you can find me at D Sports Ledger on social media or at Daniel Sports Ledger on YouTube.
There you go. Daniel Sports Ledger, D Sports Ledger. Don't forget about that dot store. Just add dot store to it and do some support. When we get back, going to go over the last bit of that NBA best plays of the day. Keep it locked here with me. You can follow me on social media at JB The Ticket. All you got to do is put me in the search box. I'm there. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB The Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
More fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JB the Kicker. Giving you that grit. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Always spitting that explosive fire.
Back at you live. Time for the best plays of the day. Vegas Scoreboard Express brought to you by our friends over at FuboTV.com/JB. That's right. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm going to give you 15% off your first month. 7 days absolutely free. You can watch these games, cut the cord with cable. No credit check, no deposit, no monthly plan required. Just get the grease with my guys over at Fubo TV. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV. So, guys, best plays of the day, again, brought to you by our friends over at BetUS. Go to betus.com. In all legal jurisdictions, use offer code VSX125 for 125% bonus on your initial deposit. So we're going to go around the board back to the NBA here. I want to talk a little bit about it. I think the dog is really barking in this game. I've been looking at it again. Rotation number 529, the Minnesota Timberwolves, plus 4.5. Very, very good price here on that spread. You want to talk about a little bit of the lineups here. I think they're very evenly matched with the Denver Nuggets. Again, you know, you got Jokic there, but hasn't had to play a guy named Rudy Gobert, who's playing some strong basketball. I've been calling him the rebound goblin. You got Anthony Edwards, who's going to stop him on the wing. And then you also got Karl Anthony Towns. So 2 guys in the paint who can neutralize what Jokic can do. And then that defense by committee is why Minnesota got here. So Daniel Cameron, I'll throw it over at you. Quick minute on this game. Do you like the Timberwolves? I know we talked about it earlier. I think you did decide to go with these guys. I like them in the dog position. I'm going to buy them up to 8 to ensure that I get some cash win here. But the money line at plus 195 is not looking too bad as well. Go ahead. Oh, no, he fell off. Oh, well, Scotty, beam him up, Webb. You're still here with me. Go ahead. Scotty, you in there?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, man. We had Daniel Cameron on. Thank you so much for coming on this morning, Dan. Don't know what happened to your phone here, but we were talking about this one in relationship to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I said they match up well with Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert going up against the big 3 for the Nuggets of Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. So, again, with that even matchup, slightly a point favorite total from those 3 starters are ahead, but the team total of 118 points per game is way ahead of the 108 for the Denver Nuggets. That's why I said earlier in my pick, I'm going to buy it down to 205 and take the over. Might even buy it down to 200. I think this one would be relatively easy to get some cash. But again, when you talk about it from that perspective, is that dog barking in the NBA? And then we'll try to get Daniel Cameron back for his best plays of the day. If not, he will shoot it to me on the text. Go ahead.
Well, the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves 117 to, I think it was like 107 or something like that. The last time they played back in April. I think it's all about motivation for the Nuggets in this game. I mean, do they really need to go out there and blow them out? I mean, I think that the dog is probably the right play, but it's hard in the NBA or really in any of these games when you're in the playoffs and you want to bet the dog, but you don't really think the dog can win the game. Like I don't think Minnesota is going to win the game, but I do think they'll play a competitive, tight game, and I do think that they can get there. So you always talk about buying up points. I mean, I think it's 4.5 right now. If you could get 6 or 7, it might be in pretty good shape for yourself.
There you go, liking it the way that we do it here. at Vegas Scoreboard Express. So again, Scotty, thank you so much for coming on today. Tomorrow, we got more baseball Sunday. Daniel Cameron, appreciate you coming on earlier again. He likes the T-Wolves in the dog position. Just shot me the text again. Thank you so much. Got this wind coming out here in Las Vegas and out west, 50-mile-an-hour gust. Probably blew down the cell phone tower, but we're still locking and loading here with you. KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM in Las Vegas. So again, Scotty, got a couple of minutes left. Let's talk about some of your best plays of the day. I know baseball, kind of a short weekend here, getting into more games tomorrow. Again, Baseball Sunday, you want to tune back in with us right here on KSHP, VSX Digital Sports Network. Search JB the Ticket, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow's a full slate. Today's a short line. What's your best plays of the day, Scotty? Go ahead.
Well, I like Milwaukee today. I think Myers is going to do well. I think Tyone's going to struggle a little bit. I think the offense for Chicago has been bad. I also think that right now, in baseball, you want to find a team and you want to pile on them and pile against them. And I think that team is the Miami Marlins. You pile against them. They have a bad ownership problem. They have a bad morale. And they just traded their best player last night. So this is a team going in shorthanded, and they're going to have to fight. And, Oakland's won, 4 or 5 games in a row here, and I think that they have the better pitcher on the mound today. So I like Oakland, too.
Right. I'm going to have to concur with you, Scotty. These are 2 plays that I like on my board. I like the Milwaukee Brewers to get back in the winner's circle against the Cubs to solidify their NL Central position as number 1. And I also like the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Athletics, to pull out the win over the Miami Marlins, a team that is slowly but surely going out to the Gulf and floating. So again, Scotty, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We'll be back tomorrow. And that's what we do here, guys. Any final shout-out, Scotty, or we're just going to go ahead and sign off and go to the book and get the money? Again, shout-out to my guys, Frank Perez over at Dom DeMarco's this Monday, May 6, 12 p.m. Free hot dog, best event. A lot of old-school cappers. If you guys want to come out, JB the Ticket is going to stop by and show love and respect to the guys who laid the platform out there for me. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Let's get out of here. Final shout-outs, and then we'll roll.
Yeah, I just want to mention my website there, www.mlb-day.com. Come by, say hello, sign up to get be a member, or you can just get some emails that come out and, the newsletter. So whatever, just come by and say hello. Let me know you're out there listening.
There you go. Thanks so much, guys. Follow him on the Bird X over at Webby20MLB. We're still on there at We Beat the Line, although we don't do too much after the shadow ban. No time for it. You can also check us out on Instagram at JB the Ticket. And that's a wrap, guys. So again, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., giving you the grease. Again, we like the Oakland A's, we like the Timberwolves, and we like the Milwaukee Brewers. Legally, get well, get back out of that hospital so we can get back to that Charlie's and get the money. Talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Enjoy your Kentucky Derby day.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball,